Right guys, here at Westin, we've got to be honest. So we've had to make another intro because the following film we actually kind of forgot about. It's been in the archives for a while, but there is a couple of interesting bits in it. We actually filmed it just after I won last year's lure battle. So we filmed it back in March, kind of forgot about it, but here it is in all its glory. So it's a little bit out of time, but we're just getting into pike season now, so some of it will be applicable. Hope you enjoy it. Hi guys, Thom Hunt here from Westin, and we have returned to Linear Fisheries because about a week ago you might have seen the lure battle final, and I'm pleased to say that I won. So we've actually returned today in order to re-establish that pattern. There was a few things that maybe I wasn't quite tuned into, so today is going to be all around changing the rod slightly, fishing the Westin swims, finding features, finding pike, looking in corners. Hopefully we can have a really good day. So when we were in the lure battle, this set of lakes here at Linear, none of us had ever been to, which was brilliant. It really equalised the playing field, and I felt it really opened. I felt like it played into my hands slightly because I like covering a lot of water. It had been so cold, I felt the pike were going to be much more agreeable than the perch would be, and I can fish pike baits much quicker, cover a lot more water and try and figure a pattern out. And it did. It took me the whole of the first day of a really tough day to try and work it out. I was casting, covering. Look how much water we've got. We've got 8 different lakes, and they're all between 8 and 35 acres here, so there's a lot of water. I was expecting those pike to be out in the deeper holes, 15 to 20 foot deep, probably around balls of bait fish. I was looking for birds. There was odd cormorants about diving, and I could not get a bite out into the lake. But I managed a couple of fish on that first day, just underneath these overhanging trees, and it absolutely surprised me. There's ice on the edge of the water, and the pike are still only in about 2 foot of water. So the next day it was just about repeating that pattern, trying to upgrade, and just cover as many features that I thought a pike might be sat under. And yeah, it turned into a good pattern. So, you know, whatever your preconceptions are, you might be thinking they're all going to be deep, they're all going to be around bait, they're all going to be in the middle of the lake. It just goes to show, just cover your bases and let the fish tell you. So we're going to try and recreate that pattern today. Let's see how we go. Right guys, let me take you through the kit that I wanted to use today. In the lure battle final, I was using an 8-foot rod, 30 to 80 grams, because it gave me a nice bit of variety. I wasn't sure if we were going to be fishing small baits, big baits, soft baits, hard baits, etc. Because we've come back today to specifically try and target those pike that are underneath these overhanging trees and in these reed-lined corners, I've gone for a much shorter rod. With the Westin Swim and with some of the other baits that we're using today, I might want to be able to work the bait as well. You know, little twitches, little jerks, and a shorter rod is much better. So I've gone for the Power Strike, 40 to 100 grams in the W2 range. Cheap as chips, but I absolutely love this rod. Super lightweight, it's nice and powerful, and it's only 7'3". So it's long enough that we can get some casting distance, but it's short enough that I can really work the lure as well. So I've changed the rod up. I've kept the reel and everything else the same. I've got 35-pound braid, W6 braid, 2,500 size spinning reel. Again, it keeps everything super lightweight. We've got, I think it's 7 or 8 lakes that we're going to fish probably today, so I want to cover some water. I've literally got one box, one lightweight bag, my mat and my net, and we're just going to cover some water. Right, let's have a look at the baits. So, as you'll have noticed in the lure battle final, the 10-centimeter swim caught all of my fish. Absolutely love this bait. nice and lightweight, 35 grams, 34 grams for the sinking version. And so again, it's like when it's flat calm like this, it was very similar. We had ice over, so I knew that it was going to be quite tricky and those pike were going to be quite slow. Didn't want on a flat calm day to be casting like mega heavy baits, huge splashes. Wanted to be a little bit subtle, a little bit more finesse. So the 10 centimeter one was fantastic. Got it in a ton of different, some of these are custom colors, some of them are new colors, but basically I always keep a nice variety. So we've got the 10 centimeter swim today, and I fully expect to catch on that. We've also got the 12 centimeter. If there is a chance of a bigger fish today, maybe we'll be a little bit more positive. I'm going to start on the 10, but again, I've also got the silent version. So if I do want a slightly bigger bait, but again, I don't want to go too heavy, too noisy, if they're a little bit tricky, you can tempt those bigger ones out with a bigger bait, but keeping it silent is just not too aggressive in the water. So we've got a few different 12 centimeter swims. Also got this little guy, the 15 centimeter Ricky the Roach inline, absolutely mega. So a new bait for us, comes on a wire trace and with the hooks and chain swivels integrated, and again a lovely, very natural in this clear water, very subtle swimming action, just like the swim. You know, it's not loads of tails going everywhere, little bit subtle coming past them, and you really want them to come out and wallop it. And if the fishing's quite good, I also want to give this guy a go. This is our new Westin Swim tail. So again, I can suspend it, it doesn't sink very fast, it's excellent for fishing shallow, and it comes with the option of two tails. A curly tail, where if I work the bait, I can get it jumping left and right like a traditional jerk bait, or if I put the paddle tail on, I can fish it more on a straight wind, and it's got more of a body roll and a bit of action in the tail. So we've got a bit of variety there, from slightly smaller pike baits, nice and subtle and silent ones, all the way through to, you know, I can fish bigger with some aggression in the tail. So I think we should have it covered today, and I'm really hoping that we can get into a few.
So first thing I'm going to do, basically, as you roll up, it's nice clear water, I look at how deep it is. Some of the pegs are very, very shallow, sort of sloping out. They don't tend to hold the pike, even if there's a bit of cover. But what we've got here is, I've probably got 18 inches right here, which means I've got 2 or 3 foot off these reeds and down here. So I think that could be absolutely perfect. A few short casts just to check, be nice and quiet, just to see if there's one like under your feet. And then we'll start doing a few longer casts. Right, a few casts is that. Then change the bait. It's surprising how often a particular style or a size or a colour, you'll do a few casts and you think, oh, there's not one there. And then you put a different bait on and that's the one that they want. So I don't tend to do many casts in each peg. So often only 3 or 4 per bait. And then, but if I rotate 2 or 3 baits, especially in the early part of the session, I'm going to start getting so much more information if we cover a fish. So I'm going from a swim tail down to a swim, but I've downsized as well. So I think something just a little bit smaller. There's no wind today whatsoever. So I think that one's splashing a little bit much, especially in this shallow water. So let's see if we want something a little bit quieter. Yeah. There we go, guys. 93. Really happy with that. Just as I thought. Come into the corners, find the bushes, and absolutely choking on it. Right, let's get it back. Go. Westin Swim. Just as I thought. 10 centimetre swim. Exactly the same bait that I used in the lure battle. Baltic pike, orange belly, a little bit natural. Just into that corner. 2 or 3 twitches, came out from under one of those bushes. So really nice solid fish, great start. Now that I'm happy that it's kind of similar to it was before, I'm going to start going through some of these other baits and see if we can catch on Ricky inline and maybe the swim tail. Yeah, we fished that first lake, and I think we were at the shallow end. It was really weedy. We've just come to an area here where we're in a corner. They seem to love the corners, and it just drops off a little bit. I think I've got 3 or 4 feet, only a rod length out, so there's plenty enough water for them to sit underneath these trees, ambush anything going past. And I'll just put a bait over into that corner, and it's come out from underneath that tree and absolutely slacklined me. Super cool. Right, first time I've been on this lake, come onto this corner. We've had one straight away, and it's a really intimate corner. I reckon I've got 4 to 6 foot sort of around this bay, so that's deep enough to hold them, but I think they do want to be shallow, but that's the right weed as well, and not all of it's brown, and you know, when you pull it up and it's brown and rotting, that's not ideal. Some of this is fresh green, and the pike will sit in that weed. So I think before we get to the edge of where this bay opens up into the main lake, I think we might get another one. So many of these spawns hanging up in trees from the carp anglers. It was interesting. It's definitely busier today, and I don't think it's quite the same pattern as it was before. I feel like we've covered enough shallow areas. How crazy is that though, when there's ice on the water and they're that shallow? Because this bay, so I actually saw Ash catch one here. I was in the next peg coming down this bank, but it's freaking shallow. I don't reckon they're in here anymore. Well, there we go, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another Westin video. We didn't exactly finish the day how I wanted. It was pretty tough. We've had one really nice fish, but do you know what? I think I've just been too narrow-minded today. I think I've tried recreating the pattern that I found in the lure battle final, and I think it's actually just changed. We had one nice fish, sort of under a tree on the far side. Then the only other bite I've had is on a Westin swim tail, but I was fishing it a bit deeper into the middle of the lake, and I had a bite just on the edge of that near shelf. Hooked the fish, saw it flash in the water, and then it came off, unfortunately. So I think I got it a little bit wrong today, but that's the way it goes. Really looking forward to getting these baits out again, because I do think in shallow water, this swim tail, the Ricky Roach inline, and the Ricky Roach multi-jointed are going to be absolutely brilliant. So I definitely want to test them again soon. Huge thank you to Linear Fisheries. They've been absolutely brilliant today. It's super busy with carp anglers, but there are some fantastic predators in here. So until next time, I'll see you on the next one.